I think I got the camera set up properly. I wasn't planning on filming this early, but I thought I'd tell you my sad story. Well, my story anyway. You might notice that I am backing out of my front, which you may have never seen. Well, if you people have watched my channel, you've seen it occasionally. So here we are in Craig. Now, this looks like Steamboat should look like. Although I have a feeling Steamboat's a little bit better at sorting their snow out, getting their snow. I'm going to Fraser today. So, anyway, so the story. Last Wednesday, a front moved in, and the forecasters forecasted a trace to an inch overnight. Thursday morning, there was probably 8 inches on the ground. The forecasters that night forecast 1 to 3 inches for Friday night. But at the same time, there was a weather advisory from Friday to Monday that said between 4 and 8 inches would fall. Okay? So we had another probably 6 inches Thursday night. Friday night, we got about a foot. Saturday night, we got about 6 inches. And this morning, there was supposed to be a little bit of snow between 4 to 8 from Friday, or from Saturday to Monday. So a couple inches anyway. We had 6 to 8 inches. Now, I don't know what that totals to be, but you can actually see in these cuts where the snow, well, someplace, I just saw one. You can see where the new snow is, where the old snow is. Yeah, so anyway. What I'm saying is that our weather forecasters have got to be working awfully hard to be able to get this so wrong. All right, so we are here in Steamboat. Just getting out of the main Central Park Drive, the main business area, I guess, up on the ski hill, and headed down 131. I want to try to do 131 all the way to State Bridge. That's where I want to go today. I don't want to do rabbit ears today. I've got to do it twice tomorrow. So if I can skip rabbit ears, I'll be pleased. Now there's a back way to go to get onto yeah, I'll just get on 40. I think that's probably as good a route as any. Make sure I'm recording. Looks like I'm recording. So it's probably about between, I don't have a thermometer, but it's probably about 10 degrees, something like that. Snowy, foggy here in Steamboat. And like I said, I really don't want to really don't want to do rabbit ears 2 times, 3 times this week. 2 times tomorrow. The weather should be a little better, I hope. So we'll see. Did you notice this Subaru in front of me? He got on the road and he was going and he damn near lost it. Or he started sliding anyway. He's a Routt County too. Yeah. He overdid it. He does have good rubber on, it looks like. So, yeah. There's a neat little bike path down here. I probably will never go on it again. Now that I know that if you don't have your little styrofoam helmet on, the bike path police here in Steamboat will write you a $300 ticket. So, just so you know, if you're planning on coming to Steamboat and you're a bicyclist, you probably have your little styrofoam helmet. I ride a bike, but I don't wear the helmet. I wear a baseball cap. And you know, there are studies out there. There's actual proof out there that shows people that wear helmets end up getting worse and more injuries than people that don't. So, and I understand that. You think you're invincible when you put your styrofoam helmet on. But you're not, sadly. You're not invincible. But in Steamboat, that's all they care about. If you look the part, apparently that's good. It doesn't matter if it actually works. But if you look the part, you'll be okay. You won't get that big ticket. Don't know what got me going on that. Oh yeah, that Routt County guy. And the bike. And actually, it's a nice little trail. Probably a pretty good walking trail. You probably have to have a walking stick though, or you get a $250 fine for that. And if you don't have Ray-Ban sunglasses, you probably get a bit of a fine also. I'm not sure if there's a fine for a jacket or any sort of outer covering if you've got the wrong kind. I don't know that, but I would say could be. So you just have to kind of pumping the brakes. A little bit of snow in her. You know, this car is great, but in relatively heavy snow, I mean, this slips around like, you know, like cars do. So here we go. Oh, Creek 17. I think, though, no, yeah, I'm not sure. So I want to get a feel for this curve here. Not too bad. So we're actually going south right now. I always feel like I should be going. You can't really see, you know, the other things out here, the clues to where the mountains are and anything on a day like today. But we have this straightaway that we hit for a while. It's really slippery out here, so I want to be careful. there are several different ways that I could go today. I'm actually going to Fraser, so I'll be going through Granby. Typically, when I have to come up through Steamboat for this little trip, I'll just go ahead and go over Rabbit Ears Pass, and then I'll go all the way down through Rand and up and over Cottonwood Pass. That's my preferred way of getting over the hill to Granby. But today the weather is truly bad. We've got a lot of snow. I'm not sure how the wind is going to be on Rabbit Ears, but I do know that I'm not interested in finding out. And so I want to take 131 down, probably all the way down to the trough road. Yeah, I think that's where I want to go. So. I have a somewhat steep, tight turn here. A lot of times I like to go through Stagecoach and check Stagecoach out, but today I think I'm going to skip that. It is a cool way to go, but this is going to be a bit of a longer trip anyway, and so I'm not really too thrilled with pushing it too much. No. Anyway. Pretty good. I'm doing around 60, a little bit above, a little bit below. The highway seems to be reasonable for this, but I get the feeling it's kind of slick. I don't want to get behind too many people, or I don't want to get too close to too many people, that is. I got a truck behind me, kind of pacing me. You know, as long as he doesn't get too close on my ass, I'll be okay with that. But I'm not really intending on passing anyone unless this person's going slow, and then I may change my mind. I think what we've got is we have a relatively and that road that we just passed is another way to get to Stagecoach. I mean, I'm just not liking it. Okay, that's a little bit. As long as I can get a sense of where that person is, I'm okay. But I don't like it when I can't see him at all. Now the camera could be picking it out. We've got some drifty little areas to go through here. Actually, I think that this next little hill is going to be the big Seems like the wind gets this spot pretty good if it's been going. And I don't know that this has been a windy storm. It's just been a snowy storm. Yeah, it's not that bad. Usually if there's a drift, it's going to be down here. This is a spot that gets drifty. Now it's not so much drifty, it's just you can't see much. Oh well, we gotta put up with it. Yeah, I think the road would bear, well, I think we're going pretty good actually. But I'd like to see better. If I could improve this situation, that's how I would improve it. So this tells me that this road hasn't been traveled on much. It's been getting snow on it, and when it's that way, you know, this is what happens when a car goes over it. It throws that snow that's setting there up, and you know. So if we weren't following this car, it wouldn't look this bad. I guess that's what I'm getting at. At the same time, how could I pass them? You know, I mean, there are limits. When you can't see the car in front of you, passing that same car, you know, even problematic. But I'm really not in a hurry. You know, I think about passing all the time. Should I pass the car? Should I not pass the car? But I'm not really in a hurry. My goal today is to get home again. And it would be nice if I could get home without any collateral damage. I don't want to hurt anyone on the way. Don't want anyone to hurt me. I just kind of live and let live. So this road, we've went from the 65 to the 55 mile an hour section, and in about 3 or 4 miles it'll go to a 45 mile an hour speed limit. And I noticed that the locals pretty much ignore that. They pretty much go about 7 to 8 miles over on this road. Now, not on a day like today. A day like today, they'll probably not speed as much. Well, they might though. And there's a pretty big community of people here that live up in Stagecoach. Stagecoach started out as a ski resort in the late 70s. And I never went there, not to ski. A lot of the construction people were, you know, up in Stagecoach, building all of the condos and whatever. But I think that Steamboat and Stagecoach came to a financial understanding. And I think the people that were pushing Stagecoach walked away with a lot of money, and they quit pushing Stagecoach. That's my opinion. I have no idea if that's what really happened, but We got 3 cars here? We got 2 cars. 1, 2, okay. I'm not sure, but I think one of these cars may have passed. Of course, you know, where they're at, if they're in front, they're in a lot better shape. I'm eating. Now, that's a state patrolman. I'm pretty sure that's the state patrolman up there, right ahead of us. I don't think he passed. That's right. I think he's a state patrolman. Anyway, so Stagecoach became, now it's a bedroom community, the Steamboat. But it's also a worker community too. There are some of the original condos that I think are low-income housing. And that's not too bad for Steamboat. It's, you know, about a 20-mile drive from Steamboat. Real pretty. I actually would prefer living in you know, living by the lake, you know. So, we're not going to go that way today, but that does, a lot of the traffic comes from up on Stagecoach, and it makes sense. I got my drive off now. Drive off. Yeah, we're just throwing up snow that has fallen in the last few minutes. So like he's going to turn off here on 79. That's what this little spot is. This is County Road 79. And that's an alternative to get back to Craig, that particular road. And I believe the speed limit changes to 45, or did change to 45 at that road, or it's just like right around in here somewhere. It drops down to 45. I'm assuming that's the sneak state patrolman. I'm assuming he is turning around and gonna head back. Although that kind of sucks, what crappy weather. If I were him, I'd just keep on heading south. I'm making an assumption, and if I'm wrong, at least it's not rabbit ears. But I think that the weather will be better down here. I think that the roads will be better. I think that the passes will be better, just the whole thing. We're in an extremely interesting neck of the woods here. We get a lot of heavy snow up here. And it's just an interesting area. Steamboat is out here. It's number 1 this year in Colorado for snow. But Steamboat typically gets about 35 feet a year, and I think they get more up on the hill. I think they get pummeled pretty good up on the mountain, up on the hill, the ski hill. But my intention is to stop in Oak Creek at the grocery store, grab a little thing of cream, have a little deal of cream. They have a little 8-ounce cream. I like that. And then work my way down. I think that we can do the trough road, and even though it's adding about 25 miles, I don't know that that even matters on a day like today. The road conditions are pretty awful. If I can get to where the road conditions are better, then I might be able to save a little time. I'm not really going to save any gas, although driving slow does, that tends to save a little bit of gas. But driving slow in four-wheel drive eats the gas up. I don't understand that, but that's how it is. So now we're at speed limit 30. I don't understand that. I'm doing more than 30. Substantially more. Well, okay, now it's slowed down to about 30. It's just one of these areas where the speed limit does not match with the conditions. There are some sharp hills or sharp corners, steep hills and sharp corners, but the sharp corners, you put a 30-minute or 30-mile-an-hour advisory sign on it, and don't penalize people. Don't make them go 30 miles. Here's the thing. Nobody goes 30 miles an hour unless it's conditions like today. And even the person ahead of me who was going slow, they were going faster than 30 back there where they were supposed to be going 30. Everyone goes faster. So why does the state of Colorado put ridiculous speed limits? I have a feeling it's going to get worse too, because we're becoming Californicated. And we are feeling the fornication part of it pretty badly too. I needed to get some lead solder. Some lead, it's like plumbing solder, relatively thick diameter. Went down to the hardware store, can't find it. I don't think you can buy lead solder in Colorado now. Last year, I went down to get some of the glue that I use for my LED lighting. It's actually an automotive product. They can't sell it in Colorado anymore. I had to order from out of state to get this glue. We are being Californicated in a big way. We didn't ask for this. We were just bent over, and they're sneakily handing it to us. They're sneakily putting all these laws into place. They're destroying, in my opinion, they're doing what they can to destroy industry, to make Colorado an extremely industry unfriendly area. These people that are doing this are politicians and bureaucrats and people in large companies. They are destroying this way of life because they're down for the cause. They're woke and they're communists. That's what they are. I notice when people make these big declarations about things, like Trump said, this country will never be a socialist country. When he said that, I'm thinking, uh-oh, you should never, ever say never. Shouldn't say never. Probably should never say never. You should never use never when you're saying never. Anyway, you get what I'm saying? I mean, that could be like a double negative there. But he said that, and I'm thinking, oh crap, our country's going to become a socialist country. I have noticed that I have heard people make declarations like that, and I've never seen one come to pass. You make this big declaration, this would never be a whatever thing. So when he said that, I was concerned, and I like Trump. I am not behind his vaccines. The vaccines, though, I think that that issue was taken away from him, and they basically hijacked it and turned it into whatever kind of horrible thing it is now, and it is a horrible thing now. Yeah, I'm going to select supermarket too. Well, I can't get in here. All right, I'll try to get in here then. There we go. All right, we'll be back.